Welcome back to Word of the Wise. Look, man, this generation, we're so smart about what's going on in the outside world and what's going on in other people's lives and all that stuff, but we are so stupid when it comes to ourselves and what we need to be happy and to what we need to be successful. And it's not really our fault. It's because, these traps were designed to do this. They were designed to make you focus on everything except for you. Because honestly, the power of being successful, of being happy, all resides in this. It doesn't reside on anything in this world. I think we can all agree on that. The problem that we face is, I think most people want to be happy, want to be successful, but because we're so trapped and stuck, in this simulation or whatever you want to call it, we can't see a way out. And that's where most people just give up and give in. So, what do? Well, luckily for us, there were philosophers back in the day who didn't have this problem that we're having now, who had no choice other than just to figure it out because all they had was themselves. And these philosophers were way ahead of their time when it came to their intellect and what they were saying. And I don't even think they knew at the time that the stuff that they said would apply to this day and age more than ever. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And it's so simple, too. Problem is we got to just dodge these hurdles and stuff that they literally throw at us. Because remember, any distraction that comes in your life is thrown at you. It's put into your face by certain algorithms or whatever. But for you to actually go and try to do something, you have to go look that up. And that's why they say we're the laziest generation, because we won't do that. And it's not necessarily our fault. We were just conditioned like this through social media, phones, whatever. Luckily, though, old school philosophers that were way ahead of their time, and, they didn't face this problem, but the stuff that they said applies to this day and age more than ever. Now, the more and more I've been researching, the more I found that the rules and the laws that they came up with are pretty simple, but because of what we're going through right now, it makes them complicated. Because avoiding distractions is honestly the hardest thing. Everything else is pretty easy. If you could avoid distractions, you got it done. Now, the first thing, there's seven laws of wisdom that I want to talk about today. That's the topic of this video. Now, the first one is expanding your horizon. You can't be in the same environment and create new thoughts all the time. At some point, it's all just going to blend in together, and your thoughts is just going to blend in together. You're going to get trapped. When you travel, whether it's just going to, it doesn't have to be somewhere far, but just going somewhere different than what you see on a daily basis is going to bring new thoughts. New environment creates new ideas, new thoughts, new everything. So just getting out of that bubble of where you live, where you're going to work, and just kind of moving past it, whether it's 20 minutes out of your way, is going to create new thoughts. And those new thoughts are going to fix the problems that you face today. That's one. Two, money. We are the definition of fool's gold. 100%. We think that money is going to fix everything because when we look on social media and we see all these successful people, they all got money, they got Ferraris, they got private jets, and they seem happy. They might be happy, but we don't know for sure. So we work for money and we do all these things, and our happiness essentially ends up becoming all about how much money that we have. But we fail to realize that money is just a tool. It's no different than a hammer, honestly. Now, you can say, okay, yeah, money is important. It's going to buy you food. It's going to pay your rent. Of course, we all need money to survive. But our real value is not in the dollars that we make. It's in the thoughts that we create. So thinking about money all the time is only going to crumble everything else you got going on. You're going to end up getting all this money, and you're going to realize that you're lacking in almost, if not all, other areas in your life. And at that point, it might be too late for you. Why you think all these celebrities and stuff kill themselves, even though they got all this money and all this gold or whatever? It's clear money is not money is not the solution to all your issues. Because most of your issues are way deeper than just what money can buy. 3, knowing what you can and cannot control. You cannot control anything that's going on in this outside world. You can, but you can't for the most part. If you can't control you, there's no way you're going to control anything else that happens. I mean, it's clear to me, and it should be just as clear to you, that people who have got it together create the best lives on the outside. They affect people in the best ways on the outside. But it all starts within you. If you ain't got it together, you're toast. Everybody else is toast around you too. Negativity, misery loves company, but so does happiness. All these emotions and all this stuff always seek company. So, man, it all boils back down to just focusing in on you, doing the best you, creating the best version of yourself so you can help other people. 4, your kindness. That's tough. It's tough, especially when you got somebody that's doing you wrong, somebody who doesn't deserve it. But if there's one thing that I've noticed about my life, every time I've gotten into a fight or an argument, I never feel good afterwards. Even if you win the fight, even if you win the argument, you always got that bad taste in your mouth. But there's been times where I could have fought, should have fought, but I didn't. And I was actually kinder to that person, way more than they should have deserved at the time. But afterwards, you get this peace. That, yeah, you might still be mad, you might be irritated, but deep down within you, you're peaceful. You know, there's a saying that if you're bitter and angry towards somebody all the time, that's like you taking poison and expecting the other person to die. It's going to damage you more than anybody else. If you fight somebody based off of your impulse or emotions, the only person you're creating damage to is yourself. 5, honesty. We all like to portray our lives as something else, portray ourselves as somebody else, especially when we go outside or social media or whatever. And that all, it's a practice. As creatures of habit, the more we lie to ourselves, the more we're not going to know who we truly are. We got to accept our flaws and be honest about our flaws to ourselves. Yes, I do this wrong. Yes, I do this wrong. That's the first step of getting better, is accepting what the hell is going on in the first place. Not lying about it and not justifying it as whatever, because it's just going to continue and continue and continue. Next thing you know, you're not going to know how you got there. You're not going to know what the root of the issue was, all because you weren't honest with yourself. 6, having a sound mind. The only thing that you really have control over is your own mind, is your own thoughts. And if you're getting drunk, if you're getting high all the time, if you're always looking for something to escape your pain, you're never going to have that sound mind, because those problems is always going to linger on in there. The bad thing about drugs and alcohol is that they actually work. You can escape pain. They do a damn good job of it too. That's why addictions and all this stuff are very real. It's because they work. But they don't solve nothing. We're addicted to escaping just because we can't face our problems head on. It's too much. It's too depressive. So we like to delay that depression, but we got to remember that that depression is not leaving. That the only way to kill those negative and bad thoughts that you do have is to face them head on. And it's better to have 5 days, bad days, horrible days of you doing that, so that on the 6th day, you might not ever have that again. Or at the very least, when that thing does arise again, when that depression comes up again, you'll at least know, okay, I at least have some type of knowledge on how I can fix this. And it's not going to resort to you doing something like taking drugs or alcohol to escape. Okay? 7. Probably the most important one out of all of these is that your life is entirely yours. Your responsibility, yours everything. Now, at first glance, that might be a very overwhelming thought. That it's up to you to fix all your problems. It's up to you to be successful. It's up to you to essentially do everything. But at the same time, that's a very comforting thought. Nobody else has control over you except for you. It might seem like that when we're stuck in a bad relationship or we're going through something where we feel like somebody else might be controlling our thoughts or whatever. But the reality is that you were born alone. Yeah, you had your mother, you had all this. But you are you. You were born alone, you're going to die alone. So there's no point of focusing in on what anybody has to say about you. You got to be firm but kind to yourself. You just got to take over, man. Take over your own life. Nobody's going to do it for you. There's no miracles that are just going to randomly appear. And if they do, you might be at that 0.0% chance. You might be the luckiest person on earth to just have something solve all your issues. But it's not like that for everybody else. It's all up to you, man. It's all up to you. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. I'm going to keep it real simple today with those 7 rules that we need to follow in order to get ourselves out of bad mindsets and to create the greatest version of ourselves. But it only happens one step at a time. We can do it. We got this. And we will do it. Look, man, peace and love to everybody. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. If you got an experience or you got something you're going through, leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. Your words and all of this is going to affect other people that's going to read it too. You know, you're only going to help somebody else, and releasing that out is only going to help you as well. So, I hope y'all have a good day. I'll see y'all in the next video.